What's up, YouTube? ProTech here, back with another Starcraft 2 video for you today. Today we have another ladder session on Korea for you. Slowly but surely trying to get to rank #1 on the server. I think we'll get there eventually. But without further ado, let's get into the games. Alright boys, we got a random versus 2 Terran. In this game, I'm going to finally be able to showcase the Gate Expand. It's been a while since I've actually been able to do this build. So gate on 16, gas on 17. Rally to the gas. Rally to the natural. A little bit of lag going on there. And then at 19, you're going to cut workers. SCV's coming into the base now. Got plenty of time to plant this. So then you cut workers here. You build a core at 19. You build a second gas at 19. And then I like to build a pylon at 19. A lot of players don't like doing this. I prefer it. And then you resume probe production as normal. No reason to fully saturate this instantly because you don't really need the gas. I mean, it depends on what you're doing. Like if you're gonna go Stargate, then maybe you should, but I'm not, so I only need enough gas to be able to build a stalker and a core, and then this way I stay efficient on mining. But you kind of need to deviate a little bit from the norm in 2v2. Most players will build 1 stalker, I build 2 because it's 2 Terran, right? And I chrono boost both of them. Teammate's going for Stargate, I'm going to go for Twilight Council. We seem to have some issues in the teammate department. Didn't pull any of his workers to save any of his workers, so that's definitely a problem. Nice, got it. Sick. It's definitely strange to see that build. That doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. But now we're pretty far behind because I was not in position for that. And we have to get a fast robo here because of the fast factory play, so he might be going Cloak Banshee or Battle Cruiser. Or in this case, Widow Mines. Okay, so the bottom side Terran player seems to be going Bio, and the top side Terran player seems to be going Mech. My teammate is going Mass Air. So I need to be going for Colossus. Alright, so he's spamming Widow Mines. And Cyclones from the look of it. We'll go out here and pressure a little bit. See, the issue that we're going to run into is I think my teammate, he's lost a couple of his Phoenixes, and I think what'll end up happening is he'll be out of position for a drop, so I'm going to play towards his side of the map. Yeah, and there it is. Good hold. Didn't macro very well at the cost of microing well. Damn, they got my ops. I'm gonna take out these back rocks over here to give myself some area to play with. Gonna go 2 robo here. Just kind of play defensive. My teammate is transitioning, so I'm gonna start slowly making a transition to Storm, I think. Immortal Zealot because of mech. But just need a little bit of AoE for the bio. Got our third base up. I'm gonna do a round of obs here, because Widow Mines. I'm really worried about a drop here, especially my side, because you can see my teammates patrolling that area down there. Yeah, let's get up a 4th base. I honestly have no idea if I'm going to be able to hold this push. So I'm not really ever going to be able to do anything with my teammate's army value right now. That's a good play right there. He's going carriers, but I think Tempest would actually be better. Set up an obs over there. Got a pretty good start to the engagement there because he just kind of A-moved or move command his shit. He doesn't have any upgrades on his shit, so that's why we actually didn't end up winning that engagement. He honestly needs to get Revelation, because without Revelation I don't think we're going to be able to... Like, the Tempest really got to do work. Ah, I think we're eventually gonna fucking break this. Nice. Nice. Ooh. Okay, I'm gonna start going up this way. Check out their money in other locations. Guess I should start getting Storm, huh? He still is not upgrading his army, so that's actually a really big deal. Here I'm just kind of poking, like, they don't know that they can't take this army, but I want them to think that they can. But I'm trying to buy time for that storm. Or not. There's no way I win that without fucking. Yeah, so I think we're actually gonna end up losing this, and the reason is because my teammate is not upgrading his army. And he macroed like really badly. Plus, I also think I really needed to get Storm. And so he just doesn't have an army value. Like, you really need to target the tanks, dude. I can't do anything with those tanks there. Bro, this teammate is so garbage. Still has absolutely terrible upgrades. Alright, I'm done with this. We're never going to be able to win. My ally just sucks. He built this shit here that just ruins my surface area of attack. He's not upgrading his army. He built the wrong composition basically the whole game. So we're just fucked. That and the Thor is obviously way overtuned. Like, he just... So, this is why you can't have Diamond League players in games like this, okay? Because they don't know what they're doing. That whole time where he was sieging the center of the map, there are two mistakes that he made. The first mistake was not getting Revelation to tag the army. The second mistake that he made was he continued to focus the Thors. I couldn't do anything because of the siege tanks, right? So he needed to focus the siege tanks. The way that he played that, the whole game, the way that he played that was just flat out bad. There was no way I could have won that game. No disruptor composition would have worked. Storm, Colossus, Disruptor, Immortal, it doesn't matter. There's literally nothing I could bid. Now, what I will say is that had this been a different map, they would have lost. Because this map in particular is super, super imbalanced for Terran when they get the center of the map, right? Because they have the watchtower and then the shrubberies that's around the watchtower. They've got all the missile turrets, unlimited scans. You just, without Revelation, there's no way to actually engage it efficiently, right? So if we wanted to have a chance to win that game, my teammate really needed to build Revelation and just go Tempest. I mean, if it's mech bio, all I got to do is build Storm Colossus to deal with the bio. All you got to do is build Tempest to deal with the mech, right? Pretty simple. But he opened Carrier, and by opening Carrier, the whole strategy was just totally inefficient because his carriers just died, did no damage, and every time we would push, he would just lose all of his interceptors to Marines and Thor splash damage and Widow Mines, right? Going Carriers against 2 Terran really is not very good, as last game showcased. If you're in a scenario like that, build like 2 Oracles and then spam Tempest, and then there's nothing mech player would be able to do. Because the bio player was never able to engage into my army, right? Never, not one time would he have been able to engage into my army because my comp was just better than his the entire game. Problem was the mech. And the way you deal with mech is the Golden Armada. But if you're building the wrong composition, Golden Armada is not going to work. It's unfortunate. Those 2 players lose the game if my teammate wasn't Diamond. Whatever. Moving on to the next game. All right, boys, next game here. Random Terran versus Random Terran. This is my teammate from last game. Hopefully I'll get some revenge here, but as you guys could see in the loading screen, my teammate was platinum, so don't have high hopes for this game, but we'll see what happens. So as a rule of thumb, if you're playing with a lower ranked teammate, you want to default to aggressive plays, in my opinion. So that's what we're going to be doing. It's Terran random, so going for 3 Rax Reapers is generally going to be good. So there is a 33% chance that the random player on the opposition has spawned Terran. And with that theory, I'm going to aggress with my first Reaper. Now, this of course can turn around and bite you in the ass if he does spawn Terran. But we're gonna take that gamble this game. So my teammate's also going through racks. But I mean, the way he's doing it is really bad, right? I have zero understanding of why somebody would be going 2 racks Marauder against Terran random, but that is the situation we find ourselves in. So I think actually on paper we just flat out lose this because I think we just got countered. And I haven't been able to scout this guy. Need to get an engineering bay here because the other Terran player has not shown anything. Okay, so we're basically just dead here. Siege tanks are out, so. Might be able to do a little damage here. So if they push soon, we die to siege tank. And we're really far behind the right side Terran, so I think realistically he would be able to win by himself. Yeah, so it's unfortunate, but I didn't think I was going to win that game going into this game because I just knew that my teammate was way lower ranked than everybody else in the game. I tried to win the game early with the 3 racks open, but wasn't going to pan out. And certainly not if that purple player was going 2 Tech Lab Marauder against unscouted 2 Terran. Very strange. Not sure how I feel about that. Moving on to the next game. Alright boys, we got a Terran random versus random on the Dusty Gorge. That Overlord positioning is pretty terrible. But our aggressive opens have not been working today, so we're going to stay away from that. Teammate has opened with 3. Matter of fact, you know what? We are just going to go 3 racks. I was going to stay away from this build, but I don't want to find myself in a situation where I'm fighting 400 army supply with 200 army supply. He's actually just not building anything. Man, I'll tell you, dude, the matchmaking is a little off today, ain't it? Come on, Blizzy, you can do better than this. I have to do something. Like, the reason I do this is because, you know, when I play with these low ranked players, it's just like, crap. Of course, random spawns Terran. Of course, into Marauder. I do not know what's going on with this. Marauder will be coming up soon. Wow, this guy doesn't even have an OC. We're gonna do a call down there. I need to kill this guy. Alright, so low rank game. Not really too much to explain here. Their MMR is probably the lowest I've ever seen, 2,595. Moving on to the next one. Alright boys, just want to touch up on something here. I have been creating the videos with the intention of showcasing every single game that is played. And I'd like to just kind of get your guys' feedback on that. Because, you know, like last game, that wasn't very entertaining, right? So I just wanted to ask you guys if you want me to filter the games throughout the course of the day and just upload the good ones, or if you want me to put all of the ladder games that I play in the video. So if you could just leave a comment about that, I would really like to have some feedback about that. And yeah. Alright boys, next game here, we got a TZ versus a TT. 3 barcodes and whatever that guy's name says. His supply depot timing is incredibly off. Unfortunately, even if I wanted to open with something like 3 racks on a map like this, it's not going to work. However, the alarm bells are definitely going off. I, again, feel like I have a low-ranked teammate. But unfortunately, when you play a map like this, it doesn't really matter. You kind of have to play normal. So we're going to be playing mechanical units this game. And we're going to open Hellion Cyclone. Excuse me. And the idea behind this is that Hellions deal with Zerglings, Cyclones deal with like Reapers or, you know, something like that, and also Battlecruisers. Since Battlecruiser opens are very, very common, especially on a map like this where it's huge and it takes forever to get across the map. Alright, let's get our factory. Let's get our refinery. Let's get our reactor and let's get our depot. I have no idea how I lost that. I thought I gauged that properly, but I guess not. Alright, we are going to aggress because we have no scouting information. Start building a mini wall down here. Need to check for the third base if there's a Zerg third. So there's no third. Late Expo. Fast Cyclone. Let's check the gold. There's no gold base. Okay, this is... We're not taking a third, we're going to go up to additional factories here, because we're going to have to deal with Nidus network play. I'm going to take my barracks and scout around for OVs. Here, kill this Nidus.
연구 완료. 부속 건물 완성.
Well, there's no Overlord, so how is he? I am absolutely confused. So I think what's happening is he's getting scans.
동맹이 공격받고 있습니다.
Yeah, he's got to be getting scans. Unless there's like a Oh! That's why. What a strat.
기지가 공격받고 있습니다.
So the Terran player was attacking me on the other side here. I might be able to take out a third base or something. Nah, he's got tanks. I actually think what I'm going to do here is transition into Banshee. Man, guys, I don't know what to say. The teammate RNG is terrible today.
사령부 업그레이드 완료. 아군이 공격받고 있습니다. 아군이 공격받고 있습니다. 사령부 업그레이드 완료. 부속 건물 완성. 아군이 공격받고 있습니다. 부속 건물 기지가 공격받고 있습니다. 방력이 고갈되었습니다.
The good news is that this whole Nidus Network shit is gonna get nerfed at some point.
기지가 공격받고 있습니다. 방력이 고갈되었습니다.
I'm just gonna try to blindside them with like a huge Banshee play.
방력이 고갈되었습니다. 연구 완료.
And then probably just go into BC after that, I guess.
광맥이 고갈되었습니다. 연구 완료.
Alright. Let's start getting the battle cruisers.
기지가 공격 방력이 고갈되었습니다. 방력이 고갈되었습니다. 아군이 공격받고 있습니다. 부속 건물 완성. 업그레이드 완료. 아군이 기지가 공격받고 있습니다. 방력이 고갈되었습니다. 방력이 고갈되었습니다.
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to win this game. Yeah, no way. Alright, so the matchmaking right now is really, really off the charts. Like, we're just consistently getting really low ranked teammates who aren't building orbital commands. They're not doing anything smart, right? And oftentimes what I'm running into is Smurfs. So like these two players, right? Well, I guess technically he's not smurfing when you look at his account. He's got 17k games, a lot of Master League finishes and stuff like that, but he's platinum here and he's playing on a new pre-made, right? So the situation that you run into a lot of times in random 2v2 is you will run into situations like this where pre-mades are playing on new pre-mades and their overall MMR is 3,522. But when you look at the profiles, they're obviously playing at a much higher rank than that, right? So then what this does is it forces good players such as myself to play with actual bad players, right? And so this is why pre-made players will oftentimes have really, really good win rates, because instead of using 2 MMRs, it's using 1 MMR, and then this really imbalances the matches, right? So I don't know what to say, guys. I mean, the matchmaking is just off. You know, there's not really much I can do if I keep getting teammates who don't build orbital commands, who don't know how to engage, who don't know what good compositions are and stuff like that. It's just one of those days. It happens. All right, my dudes, on to the next game for this video series today. PR versus RR. Matchmaking has been absolutely terrible today, so I'm assuming that this teammate is going to be equally as bad as the rest. Kind of at a loss today. I don't really know what to do. I feel like I keep getting really kind of the short end of the stick. So when this starts to happen, you get tilted a bit and you start to question your decision making. You start to question like the decisions that you make throughout the course of the game, and you know, the game just doesn't flow. It doesn't flow properly. Make a lot of blunders, macro mistakes, micro mistakes. You know, it's just not a good frame of mind to be in when you play, right? And the problem is that when this starts to happen, I mean, it really starts to happen. Like, look at this mistake I just made, right? It just kind of goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on. And it seems like, you know, in the 10 years that I've played this game, when this stuff starts to happen, it really starts to just go on for a huge, huge portion of the day that you play. You know, and of course, you know, it's unjust. Blizzard just doesn't... They haven't cared about the matchmaking for 10 years. So you just kind of have to stomach it, move on. Do the best you can in the next game. So this guy's going for Fast Factory with, I guess, his Hellions. So I'll just open Standard Bio.
사령부 업그레이드 완료.
Get up our third barracks here momentarily. Get our gas, do a little scout. Fast Expo. Picking off a little drone. Stargate.
부속 건물 완성.
Gotta run away from the adept. Just kind of doing damage where I can, macroing the best I can while I aggress a bit. And the Protoss player threw down a Stargate, so I'll be going Marine heavy. I'll actually be going Marine Widow Mine this game.
부속 건물 완성.
Let's go over here and check to see if he has the third. Get stem. I have to start making a mini wall here soon to deal with Zergling. So we're just going to park the Reaper there. We've done all the damage we can realistically do with this Reaper. So we're just going to park here and keep Zerg off of a quick third. Like that. His speed is
부속 건물
out.
완성. 아군이 공격받고 있습니다.
No, Mr. Reaper, why? Teammate's going for a Widow Mine drop, which is really bad because I scouted a Forge, and he should have what it is he needs to have to defend that. And he's not... Oh, he does have expansion. So that's good. Looking on the minimap, I can see my teammate going for the drop play. See if he does any work with that. Oh, wow. He actually never built... He opened fast cannon, but he never actually built cannon. 4, 6... So 12 workers. That's actually really good.
동맹이 공격받고 있습니다.
Good stuff, good stuff. Once I get medevacs here, I'm just going to walk across the map after my teammate did that type of damage.
동맹이 공격받고 있습니다.
Combat shield. And reactor for mines.
연구 완료.
Let's go ahead and start getting our upgrades. And push. We're actually just going to drop there and take out his third. Because you remember, he was taking a third, so he probably ultimately did. Supply cap is not part of the plan here. Be in a really good spot if I can get that third base. If it's there. 3 overlords. Galore. Like literally galore. Let's get up third. And then get out of there. Let's put a mine there and a mine there. So the reason I didn't continue to aggress is because I just didn't feel confident. The Zergling count was relatively high the last time I saw it, so... I think I'm just gonna wait for a 1-1 here. And push with 1-1. And then obviously I want to have a backup plan, so I'll take a third behind it. Third's finishing up. Let's get the extra production. And let's go ahead and make the push. Take a third behind it. Wow, Colossus. Colossus or Disruptor. So there's no... Oh, there's a base here. Did I ever get my armory? Fuck, I didn't. Hydra Bane. Oh, yeah. Focus the Robo here so we can't get Colossus. There it is, boys. My macro kind of fell off at the end there, but that's okay. We were able to take the victory. All right, moving on to the next one. All right, we got Random Terran versus Terran Protoss. Mid game, late game scenarios is fucking garbage for Terran or Zerg on this map in this matchup. So let's just open with a 14 gas, 14 pool. I don't want particularly the Protoss player to be able to take a second base freely. And I actually think this guy, my teammate here, Ritz, I actually think he goes 2 racks Marauder every game on this map. I think I've played him like 3 or 4 times since I've been recording games, and I'm 90% sure that he's done that build every time. It'll be confirmation for me if he does it again. So, it's kind of weird. Well, actually, I guess it's not kind of weird that the Protoss scouted me first. He probably saw the pathing of the worker there. And probably knew he couldn't get into Terran base. So I'm scouted. Protoss knows what I'm doing. Opting for a Banling all-in is just probably not going to pan out, so we're not going to do that. We're going to expand at 21. Yikes, he lost his worker. Oh man. You got RNG fucked there. So there's Tech Lab. We got 2 gates. What do I want to do here? Do I want to go Protoss? Well, he's not building a Zealot, so let's go Protoss. And I need to make sure I keep this Overlord alive because my teammate's going Marauder. Ooh, Reaper. One Reaper just poops on your build. Makes it so you can't do any fucking damage to Protoss. Okay, we've got speed up, so now... Nope, 3 racks and a depth, so that means there should be a Stargate. Here come the Marauders, there are the Reapers. And we just need to keep building wings. I'm sure there will be a Stargate. Or DT. He's definitely dumping gas into something, and it's not gateway units. Well, there's 2 sentries there now, so I don't know, maybe. I should have gone for a Baneling Nest. If I had gone for a Baneling Nest, this would have been a lot easier. So let's see, is he transitioning well? Nope. Start spreading a little creep. He'll probably just die to DT. You get over here and see if he explode. Let's go this way just to see if he took a ninja or not. Just sort of warp prism. Warp prism. Immortal. So we're gonna need queens. And we're gonna go back because I think he's just gonna try and harass my shit with his prism. Still no expansions. Whoops. Okay, so I think we're in trouble here. The build that we opted for did nothing. And I did not take gas at an appropriate time, so I'm not gonna have Banes.
동맹이 전투 중입니다. 아군이 공격받고 있습니다.
So yeah, I think they're just gonna be able to push and win.
동맹 기지가 위험합니다.
I feel like my teammates' transition is just not good enough to win. Crap. I really don't want to kill that tumor. I don't know, maybe we'll see what happens with that. Maybe I'll try to see if there's a base over here. Too many sentries, too many.
동맹이 전투 중입니다. 기지가 공격받고 있습니다.
Oh, we left it open. Fuck yeah. Oh, it's a base trade. Damn it.
아군이 공격받고 있습니다. 동맹이 전투 중입니다.
Spire here is actually going to be nice.
아군이 공격받고 있습니다. 동맹이 전투 중입니다. 아군이 공격받고 있습니다.
Okay, need to kill that right there. Take that third. Did I get that? Okay, central fuel's up. So now I actually... I don't know how I feel about this situation. I think Protoss is just going to keep getting further and further ahead.
광맥이 고갈되었습니다. 현영과 광맥이 고갈되었습니다.
No third. Okay, so I need to take out the rocks over here to give myself a multi-prong
아군이 공격받고 있습니다.
opportunity. Built the spire, but I have no gas. And my teammate still has no second base, so... Yeah, looks like I got the short end of the stick again.
동맹 기지가 위험합니다. 아군이 공격받고 있습니다. 광맥이 고갈되었습니다. 동맹 기지가 위험합니다.
I should have fucking guessed that. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
동맹이 전투 중입니다.
Good stuff. Okay, I'm going after his third. He's gotta have a third there. Well, it's not even done. Alright, let's just keep them off additional bases. Take my next base.
아군이 공격받고 있습니다.
Oh, shite! I mean, I used the mutas there to tank for the Marines, so we actually ended up getting a pretty good trade there. Like, when your teammate has nothing but Marines, sacrificing basically everything is fine, because you can get the DPS from the Marines to make the trade viable, right? So that was pretty gimmicky on my teammate's part. He'd never even expanded, right? I don't even think he ever built a second CC. The good news is that I got 24 MMR for this. It doesn't happen often, but if we take a look at my match history, say, we've been getting kind of screwed with the teammates, and a lot of times what's happening is that, and you know, I've said this many times on stream, I've said this many times on my YouTube videos, is that once you get to 4.7k MMR, the matchmaking gets really bad. So I actually started the day with, I believe it was almost 4,800, right? So I started with like 4,800, but now I'm back down to 4,657. And again, it happens every time. It's like when you get to this rank, you go in a circle, right? You get to 4.7, 4.8. And then you drop back down to 4.5, 4.6, and then you get back up to 4.7, 4.8, and then you drop back down to 4.5, 4.6, whatever. And then, you know, upon like the third or the fourth try, that's when you break the 4.8 and you start getting into like 5k, 5.1k, stuff like that. So I'm sure there's something goofy going on with the algorithms and the system and stuff like that, but I mean, I have done this 100 million times over, and that's the conclusion that I've come to. 4.7, matchmaking gets bad, and to break through it, you gotta just play an absolute metric fuck ton of games to start getting into 5k, 5.1, etc., etc. Yo, my man Paul, thank you for the €5, man. Really appreciate it. Love from Europe. Thank you very much, dude. I'm glad you're enjoying the content. I'm glad you're enjoying the show. And of course, everybody else who has donated. There's no message with the donation, but really appreciate that, man. All right, what we got here? 2 random versus 2 Protoss. Those guys look pretty low rank. However, it is 2 Protoss. They could be smurfing. So, we're not going to take this game too seriously, but at the same time, we don't want to lose this match, because holy fuck, if we lose this match, the amount of points in MMR I'm going to lose is just demoralizing. So the strategy I do here, it's kind of like a revised version of the old 4-gate. And I typically will use this if I think my opponents are bad. And or if I feel like my teammate is bad, right? Because, see, one of the issues with Protoss and 2v2 is that they're really weak in the early game, right? Like, say I go for, like, an expand build or whatever, and I don't have a teammate to help me with a rush. Well, then I just flat out die in the first 5 seconds of the match, right? So oftentimes I will think to myself that I need to take the game into my own hands, and this is part of the reason why I make plays like this. A lot of the time, to be honest. Reaper expand. Teammate looks okay, actually. Actually looks decent. OC, Reaper, command, center. Alright, so a lot of times what you'll see from players is they will chrono boost the gateways. But if you're going to do a play like this, in my mind, it's better to chrono boost the warp gate. And then once I have 300 resources, I just drop the double gate. And you want to SimCity it like this. Like you want to put the first gateway to the left and to the right of the pylon, because then it reduces the surface area in which the pylon can be attacked. Because if you go for this play and your pylon gets unpowered, well then you're screwed, right? So we're capped. We're going to ensure that the proxy stays up by throwing down 2 pylons, and then we'll go back in money. 2 racks, factory with stem. Don't quite have a chrono boost for our core yet. 3 seconds. Try to kill workers here. And importantly, try to retain the army. I'm actually just not even going to do this because I'd rather secure the win by maintaining my army. So, comes out at a little before 3:30, which is really good timing. We're going to push with what we got. Make sure we don't get capped. And we're going to set up a camera location in the warp field, because that will just make it a lot easier to get to my warp field when my gates are up. Go for workers. We're going to wait for a full rotation, which is, I believe, is about 5:25. It's pulling workers, so we're going to kite backwards. And I believe these guys are actually doing an eco feed. Like, I believe the guy who opened with a cannon is feeding this guy. And his warp gates were just a little too late. At 5:25 mineral, we're going to go back to the warp field. Oh, I didn't realize there's a Twilight Council there. Could be DT. I'm just gonna go for the pylons here. Unpower his production. Oh, that pylon never made. Whoops. So there you go. That's that strategy is one of the ways that you can ensure, because here's the situation. Sometimes you will run into games like this, okay, where the player's MMR is really low. And when this happens, there's something I want you guys to understand. It is a massive risk to goof around or fuck around. Had I lost this match, I would have lost probably around 200 MMR, and I probably would have lost like 80 division points. When you're laddering and you're ranking up, yes, the opponents may be low rank, but there's always that chance that they're going to be smurfs. So you got to take the game seriously. And so that build that I did is very, very good in scenarios like that. You don't know if they're smurfing. You don't know if they're decent. Those guys were actually somewhat decent. And, you know, there's also the elements of having a bad teammate, so that's part of the reason why I do builds like that quite frequently, because the matchmaking in random 2v2 is really, really atrociously bad. Alright, boys, I was freaking AFK at the start of this game. I was outside smoking a cigarette, replying to some YouTube comments, and I didn't realize I was actually queued up. I totally forgot because I got involved with writing back to a lot of people on YouTube and replying to that donation. So I'm incredibly far behind, needless to say. But I thought it would be kind of interesting to see if, after being AFK for as long as I was, if I can come out with the victory here. Playing against Zerg, Protoss, Probe scouted, right? There's the probe. We're gonna build a lot of Zerglings here because I just kind of feel like I didn't see the ranks, so I don't know like really what to expect. And I definitely want to have something, and if, you know, after that scout they're like, oh, okay, he doesn't have shit. Alright, we're gonna go back on gas here and get Banes, build some drones. Oh crap, bad micro. Definitely a bit flustered here. So workers there. Let's get a Bane nest. Oh, we might actually go do some damage here. Droning up behind this. Ooh, a free adept. Come here, you. So it's gone for Stargate. It's in production. I'm gonna check third actually, because the lack of army here is alarming. Isn't it? Void Ray. Alright, let's just build a bunch of Banes here and end the attack. Try to do as much damage as we can and macro behind it. Oh my god, dude, if my teammate drops, it's not good. What do I do if my teammate drops? Oh, god. If I lose this game, I'm gonna lose so much MMR and so many points. So it's Zergling speed, Void Ray, Adept is what I've seen so far. So Hydra Bane seems like the right choice. Thank God he didn't drop. That'd have been really bad if he had. Alright, let's try to do some damage here. Okay, we're just droning up behind this. We do have a teammate there. I gotta run away, he has too many Zergling. And because his Zergling count is higher than mine, I have to build Zerglings instead of drones right now. Looks like he's gonna go over to my third. He's probably down here right now, trying to do something about my third if I have one. Yep. Let's go ahead and take that third. Whoa. They were like fucking Houdini. They were there and then they weren't. We are going to make another attack here, drone up behind it, and start getting a lair. Let's go check and see if he has a third base. Oh, that's walled. No, it's not walled. Why? Oh, I guess the click didn't register. Alright, let's push. See if we can do any damage here. Oh boy. Definitely not going to do any damage there. Too many spine crawlers, but the good news is my teammate does have a lead over the other Protoss. So Hydra Bane, actually going gateway. There's going for my damn third again, I think. Let's get our upgrades. Let's get our Hydra Den. Gotta build some more lings here. It's really bad timing for this. Getting speed. Got our upgrades going. Baneling speed going. Okay. So we have map control. I have a third base. The Zerg doesn't. Let's go back over here and check to see if he took his third. Still no third. None of the gold. What about here? Nothing here. So we're really far ahead. No need to push. No need to attack. We'll just start building an army of Hydra Bane back at home. Starting to run out of money on my main here, so we'll go ahead and take a fourth. Get Hydra Bane. Did he get a fleet beacon? Yeah, he did. And he has range. Hell yeah, dude. Good teammate. Teammate RNG is starting to pick up a little bit, isn't it? Alright, so I have a huge lead, and when you have this huge lead, you want to do things like open up attack paths to like be able to reinforce your attacks quicker. We're just gonna save gas here for the next upgrade rotation. Alright, we got our next upgrade rotation. Ah, what is this? Okay, that's fine. Got our fourth base up. Go ahead and saturate that. And we're going to counter aggress. The Protoss, man. The Protoss has not shown anything. Let's do it. YOLO. YOLO! Oh, yeah. Let's go for the drones here. Crap. So the server that I'm playing on is generally about 80 MS. What am I at right now? I'm at 144 MS right now. And so the difference between actually killing a lot of workers there and killing the amount that I did was the ping. And here I just have such a huge lead, I'm not really trying to micro or take efficient trades or anything like that. I can just kind of aim. Unless you just AFK there, buddy. Hello? So, yeah, I was AFK at the start of that match, and I just thought it might be a little interesting to see whether or not I'd be able to take the victory being that far. Alright, boys, welcome to the next game of the Series 2 day. Protoss random versus random. I think I'm gonna open... with a bit more economy than what I usually do. Probe into base. Stick this overlord, put it there, just in case of cannons. Better safe than sorry, I always say. Gas steel is going to put my teammate pretty far behind. I guess if it's Terran, it's not that big of a deal. Drone, 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 drone. Get some zergling speed going on. Should probably build some wings and help him with the gas, huh? Would be the gentleman-like thing to do. Let's get abandoned nest just in case. Have a good day, Mr. Reaper. Let's go ahead and get third base. Fuck it. At 3:15, I'm gonna make some spores because we have no scouting information. Just need some more recon. Set up some OBs and some good spots. Let's roll that way and see if we can snipe a worker or two. Warp gate is finished. Hellions were starting across the map. Let's get a bunch of speedlings and try to kill these. Over here. That's how we do, son. Good stuff. Let's bring it this way. Start triggering some expos. Stalker Hellbat. I say blank because why else would we build up stalkers right now, but I don't actually know one way or the other really. Here they come. Man, that one siege tank is doing this fucking work. Did my teammates drop yet? Fucking cleaned up. I feel like I have problems in the teammate department. I feel like this is just buying them so much time to do whatever they want. Epic timing on the speedlings. Now we're going to run up. Go check for the third. Take the gold. I just built a spire in case of battle cruiser, but I'm actually just gonna go straight ultra. Let's just build a bunch of corruptor to deal with that crap. Huh. My army got tagged on something. I didn't fucking realize it. Feels bad, dude. I forgot band speed. That'd have been bad news. Teammate has no third. I think I might actually just be screwed here. Nah, I don't really think my ultras are gonna come out in time. Zergling run by. I guess the only thing I have going for me is the upgrades are pretty atrocious on that mech. Nice. Yeah, teammate's actually doing pretty good, isn't he?
아군이 공격받고 있습니다.
I'm not really sure if going for the base right there was good or not. Banelings are pretty useless because he's going Storm, so I just thought, well, maybe I'll just use him on the Nexus.
광맥이 고갈되었습니다.
So I'm maxed out on upgrades. Fighting into not fully upgraded army here. It's actually pretty comical how bad Ultralists are in Legacy of the Void. I don't know what that was. A drop, I guess? Yeah, it was a drop. It'd be nice to go Broods, but the problem going Broods on this map is the map is just so big. You can easily get wrecked by like base trades and stuff like that.
기지가 공격받고 있습니다. 광맥이 고갈되었습니다.
I guess Protoss is just better than Zerg, huh?
기지가 공격받고 있습니다.
doing fucking work down there, bruh. That ought to get nail in the coffin for the Protoss player here. GG. So that was a pretty good game. Opponents were of reasonable rank. I got quite a few MMR for this. I don't usually get this much MMR for wins, so it was a pretty good game. My teammate was definitely having problems there. I guess he has played over 10,000 games and never played a single ranked game. No career finishes at all. So, you know, when you see profiles like that, it's kind of hard to gauge like what their rank actually is. Plus, it's a barcode, and barcodes these days, it's all over the fucking place. Some of them are really good, some of them are really bad, some of them are fucking map hackers. So, barcodes are just all over the goddamn place now. You can't really know what you're getting yourself into when you get into a game with a barcode. I think the reason I was able to win this game pretty efficiently was because that first attack with the Hellions, where I sent my Zerglings up to the gold base, that just absolutely destroyed his attack. And then when you do attacks like that and you clean shit up, you do a huge round of drones. And the reason you should always 100% of the time do a huge round of drones until you've capped, like you've gotten to your ideal saturation, is because even if you take a really good trade, you still have to cross the map, right? And you have to get to their base, meaning you have to go through walls, you have to go through whatever macro that was there during that attack. So it's just not worth it. Like literally 90% of the time, it's just not worth it to clean up an attack and then think to yourself, okay, I'm just going to keep spamming Zerglings or keep busting out units to go and win the game, right? The travel distance between two bases are really far. Hellions are very fast, right? So you got to take all of those things into consideration on whether you decide that you're going to build a bunch of units or you're going to build a bunch of drones, right? So when you have good engagements like that, 99% of the time you just want to drone until you get to that optimal saturation, because then you're giving yourself a better chance to win because you'll have a higher economy. You can make transitions, you know, you can get upgrades, things like that. As far as compositions in last game, I really think anything could have been okay. But when I think about it, ideal composition, it was probably Zergling Hydra. Ultralists are just, they're garbage, right? They're just bad. And they take forever to actually get to a point where they're good. You have to have every single upgrade for melee for Ultras to be good. And you also have to have the movement speed and the carapace from the Ultralist Den, or the cavern, to really justify ever making one. They're just too paper. They're not as tanky as they used to be. I play that style because I really like to play that style, but I don't actually think that style is very good, and I think that it would lose to a lot of... So I think in last game, what I probably should have gone is Zergling Hydra. And the reason for this is because you can transition into Viper, and Viper is really good against mech, right? And it's also good against Protoss. You know, if they get any massive units, you can abduct them, you can abduct Immortals. And then beyond that, probably something like Hydralisk Infestor is not bad. The ultimate composition in last game would have been Broods, but you gotta remember the map is fucking ginormous, right? It is just absolutely huge. And it isn't one player you have to worry about, it's two players you have to worry about. So you gotta worry about Hellion run-bys, you gotta worry about Warp Prism harassment. You know, you got to get yourself to a point where you've got like a spine crawler forest and a spore crawler forest to where you can really justify going Broods. And oftentimes what'll happen is if you start getting to that stage, you're just going to die. So this is part of the reason why I almost never do it. And I always build like a really big army and just try to out trade, out control, out macro, out Maybe not so much micro, because I didn't have very good micro that game. But that's just kind of the thought process and the theory side of last game. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you all very much for watching the video today. I want to thank each and every one of you guys for tuning in. Big shout out to Paul for the €5. Thank you for the donation, dude. Really appreciate that. And of course, everybody else who has contributed for the last, I believe it's been about 7 days since I got my ban on Twitch. Good games today. Start of the video wasn't the greatest, but, you know, I mean, that's just kind of what happens with matchmaking sometimes. And it's part of the reason why getting to rank 1 is actually so fucking hard, is because you just have to play an unbelievable amount of games to do it. But I think we'll get there eventually. Mama didn't raise no motherfucking quitter, so we're gonna be doing at least one of these videos every day, so there's quite a bit of Starcraft being played. But other than that, that's all I've got for you guys today. If you guys enjoy the content, hit the thumbs up. If you don't, hit the thumbs down. Make sure you got your notifications set up properly so as to get notified when the video is released. Other than that, boys, thank you for tuning in. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Peace out.